When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I am your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about today is why Black women are so controlling, the control issues that a lot of Black women have. And I know a lot of times it's not normal, or it's not normalized for us to think of Black women as controlling. We tend to put cute words on it and say they're empowered, they're boss chicks, they're all of these different types of things. You know, they just want to be in control of their lives. They just want to be in charge of their lives and their destiny and all that sort of thing. And it's a cute way of saying that they have control issues. But I have a very interesting, and shout out to this channel, We Need to Talk, because they have some really, really great clips. There's no drama. It's just the conversation. So a huge warm shout out to them. I'm using their clip, but I'm certainly not trying to take credit for their content. But I find that there are some really, really great conversations being had here. And I want to show you a part of a video that's maybe 2 minutes long. It's 2 minutes long, okay? And I want you to really think about it, because to give you the framework, she's answering a question about what she thinks about Sister Shahrazad Ali, which is, everybody knows, like, I highly respect and adore that sister. So what she thought about her book, her viewpoint, and all of these sorts of things. And this was this young lady's answer, and I thought it was really, really interesting. So what I'm going to do is, real quick, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to pick up right there.
It's like we're trying to have those things, like the marriage, the kids, the happy life, and all that, but we've gotten far away from what we need to do and what we need to be in order to obtain those things. So with her coming in and telling us what we need to do and critiquing us, because we're so focused on, I guess, how we have recovered from not having the Black man in the home, and just different things like that, like the degrees that we obtain and the jobs that we get and the amount of money that we have saved up, all as a form of, I guess, making up for that lack. When we hear something like that, it's like, how dare you tell me that I need to go back to being that, because that didn't work for my mother, that didn't work for my grandmother. I saw her getting disrespected, even though she was, I guess, submissive and things like that. Like, I saw her getting disrespected. So how dare you come and tell me that I need to go back to that? So I
Okay. And I'm gonna stop sharing because I thought that little snippet of an answer, and it was more interesting conversation there, but I thought that little snippet of an answer was important. It was very interesting to me. And this is why you'll get to understand why I say control issues. And she mentioned Black women want the children, the marriage, the happy life, the fulfillment, the eudaimonia, right? Black women do want that. I know that even the gynocrat, even the hyena, even the one that take a man through trouble, take a family through trouble, even that one there's a part of her that wants that kind of dream type life, a life where she can be happy, a life where, you know, she can have children and husband and marriage and all of this sort of thing, and it just plays out smoothly and all of these things. So she does it, but however, she doesn't want the critique that's necessary to make her worthy of that. And there's a part of her that feels, there's a large part of her that feels that she shouldn't have to be worthy of it. She deserves it. And I don't like using that word deserve because we don't know what people deserve. We always think that we deserve something good to happen to us. We always think we deserve something good, something positive, something better, something extraordinary and something wonderful. We always think that, especially women will say what we deserve without taking a look inside of ourselves to examine whether or not we really do deserve better. Because deserving insinuates that it's just supposed to happen without you making any particular effort towards receiving it. And that's not really how the world works, right? And so Black women don't like, especially the type of critique that Sister Shahrazad Ali was giving out, something that I'm doing similarly to her in a sort of no nonsense. We're not sugarcoating anything to Black women. We're just handing it to her straight. Listen, this is what it is. These are the things that have to be done, and so forth and on, in order to achieve that fulfillment, in order to achieve eudaimonia. And the reason why we do that is because Black women currently are not on the path to achieve it. We're not doing what we're supposed to do in order to get what we say we want to have. It's just not happening. And it's not happening not because there's some mystical force preventing it from happening. It's because we're not actually doing what you're supposed to do in order to get that fulfillment, right? And one of the biggest obstacles of Black women not doing what they're supposed to do in order to get that fulfillment is being out of control. And when I say that it's out of control, or Black women are out of control, it's that being or feeling of being out of control is a deficiency within the spiritual value. And it's due to feelings of inadequacy, right? And I don't want that to be confusing to people, because just my last live and video, we established that generally speaking, Black women feel inadequate even in relationships where their partner is perceived, they perceive their partner as better than them somehow. They perceive their partners having their stuff together, having a life together, being on this trajectory where they can achieve excellence, right? Which is the 10 life value system that I talk about. And then her and feeling inadequate about that. And her and feeling, well, maybe I'm not worthy. And this is where the control comes in. And that sense of trying to have control comes from the fear. It comes from fear. And it plays out in all of the stuff that we see. It plays out in her getting into her masculine energy. Okay? And then moving forward in life in that masculine energy. Getting the degrees, getting the job, getting the this, trying to be a boss, trying to control. Because she's trying to control things because of the feelings of not being in control here. So Black women like to exercise control externally. She try to control the relationships she's having with her children, but in a non-healthy way. She's trying to control the relationship she's having with her significant other, her husband, her long-term boyfriend, whatever the case may be. She's trying to control relationships between herself and her coworkers. She's trying to control relationships between herself and her boss. She's trying to control all of these things that really not in her control. And instead of turning it inwards and saying, I'm out of control, let me bring myself into control. Because for women, we know order comes from the masculine. We know it does, which is why a lot of Black women jump into masculine energy, because she knows she need to be in order because she out of order. I hope that this is making sense to everybody, because I'm trying to dig into the mindset or the psychology of this, right? It's coming from a place of fear. What do Black women fear? Abandonment, fear that nobody's going to listen, fear that nobody's going to want her, fear that nobody going to love her, fear that nobody going to help her, fear that no one is going to accept her or whatever. And all of these things come together as insecurities, right? They're insecurities, but the insecurities come off angry, bitter, mean, controlling, masculine. Okay? So this is where all of that, I got to control everybody sort of situation. Everything got to go my way because she's not going the right way inside. Here's the other thing. You heard her mention, well, how dare we be told that we need to go back to basically femininity because it didn't work for our mothers, it didn't work for our grandmothers. This persistent narrative that femininity doesn't work and it didn't work for their mothers or their foremothers is completely false. There's only two energies we can be in, masculine and feminine. The masculine energy hasn't gotten us anywhere, Black women. Us being in the masculine, trying to control everything, trying to be our own boss, trying to blah, 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 that actually hasn't netted us the result that we were told that being masculine would do, that girl power and Black girl magic and feminism and all. We were told that we were going to be able to reach the promised land if we took that route. But we have not reached the promised land. As a matter of fact, we've gone in the opposite direction and ended up in like a purgatory. Okay, we've ended up in a place of punishment at this point. Okay, nothing's going right. Things don't go well. We're complaining. We're angry. We're bitter. You know what I'm saying? The men are gone. We want them back. But then at the same time, we want to fight them, you know, and all of this type every inch of the way and all of these sorts of things. And it's not going to work. We'll never get the children, the eudaimonia, the fulfillment. We'll never get that if we keep fighting our nature. It's not even a fight. I want y'all to stop thinking of y'all got to do something for a man. Your discipline and your spiritual value is for you. You're going into femininity because that's naturally what you do. Because the Most High made you that way. That's why you do it. And again, that's rooted in the spiritual value. But the false narrative is that it didn't work for our foremothers. Yes, it did. You know how we know? Because there were more intact families. Fathers was in the home, okay? And it wasn't always a case of Big Daddy got a family across town. That's a famous little narrative that we like to put out. But that wasn't really always the case, because a lot of times them men was extra hard workers, barely making men's ends meet, and had a house full of children and a wife. He didn't have time nor the energy to get another woman across town. It's so many, for every story that we can tell, imagined that all of our big daddies was doing that. I could think of real life stories where the men, listen, they would be dog tired. I don't got time. I got a full-time family, a full-time job. I don't got time. All of my energy, all of my focus is here in the household and in the family I established. So Big Mama wasn't always somewhere getting disrespected. and she was doing all she can and being submissive, and Big Daddy was just an a-hole. All of them. So like this persistent narrative is the thing that keeps Black women from embracing their femininity to begin with. It keeps them from embracing it because that's, again, where the fear comes from. This is where, and fear is where conditional femininity comes from as well. The fear of, if I give too much, I won't get nothing back. If I give this part, then I'm gonna get shafted on this other end. And ladies, we gotta stop working from a fear narrative, because as long as we work from that fear, don't nothing positive come from that. That's not a form of empowerment. That's a form of insecurity. Conditional femininity in and of itself is an insecurity, because you're too insecure with that and not comfortable with it. And you think that that's supposed to be a transaction, and it's not. It's not a transaction in the form of, or what we're accustomed to doing in the lost value system. It's really not. So these control issues are born of fear and insecurity. It's actually born out of the lost value system. When you come into, because the lost value system is a place where scarcity and fear and fear of losing and fear of poverty, that's where that stuff resides. But when we're dealing in the 10 life value success system, we come from places of abundance. We come from places of confidence. We come from places of positivity. We're not afraid about what we're going to lose because we know we're going to win. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.